Is it on? Oh, hang on, put them down. Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Just sampling some Rioja there, which is customary at this time of night. You've got 2 for 1, I believe, this evening, myself and Craig. We're going to both be doing some training. I'm going to be covering off some retail stuff, and Craig's going to be going through some sponsoring stuff. Just for those of you who don't know me, I'm half Spanish, which is why I've always had an association with Spain. Lived over here for a number of years on and off. And basically that was down to Clean Easy, you know, like most people, we were stuck in jobs we didn't really like, jobs we didn't particularly want, to be honest. And we joined the business, saw it as a way of getting out of the jobs, built up a residual income, and we were awarded in 2006 a BMW 3 Series. And we literally jumped in that car with our 2 young daughters and came to Spain. And we stayed here for 9 months. Now, I don't know any business or any job where you could literally not only just get the free car, but then disappear for 9 months and they would pay you every single month. And they did whilst we were there. We had a fantastic time. We made our 3rd child, Javier, went back to the UK, and then have been back and forth ever since. We've been here a couple of years now. And what we've been doing is actively building our business in the UK from Spain. We've done everything that we can do there. The internet's fantastic now. When we first came over, you know, we didn't have all the platforms and the facilities that we have now. So if we can build a good business back in the UK from Spain, there's absolutely no reason why anybody can't build a business in Spain from the UK. And we're going to give you some tips tonight on how to do that. So just bear with us while I pull up the presentation. Don't know about you guys, but I've seen enough of my head now. Let me just start this off. Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to cover off retail, and then Craig's going to come on and talk to you a little bit about sponsoring. So things I'm going to cover off with you tonight: building your customer base here, presenting catalogues, immediate income, managing your account, a bit about Facebook, understanding the nature of retailing, and just going through the incentives. So I've noticed on the Clean Easy Success group lots of questions about Spain. And a lot of the questions can easily be answered by going to Clean Easy España. The company have put together a very, very simple but very effective website with a frequently asked questions section, and a lot of things are answered on there. There's a few things I'm going to highlight for you tonight because it's really important that when you're recruiting over here from the UK, or whether you're recruiting over here from over here, I suppose, that you understand some of the differences within the business, and some of the things that operationally are quite different as well. But to be fair, the majority of it's the same. And if there's one bit of advice I can give you, it is to keep everything just as simple as you possibly can. So building your customer base. Some of our guys have had their catalogues now. Some are still waiting. Don't know if you guys have got people here. Address formats are very different here. So that's been a bit of fun and games, but nonetheless, stuff's coming through now. And what the guys are finding is a 48-hour turnaround is working best. So I know different groups operate different systems. In the UK, we've done 48-hour turnaround in the past. We now do tomorrow slips. But here in Spain, what we're finding is working best so far is 48 hours. So if you did the catalogues today, for example, which is Friday, you collect Sunday. If you put them out Sunday, you collect Tuesday. And we still do the same 4-week cycle. Now, I know the catalogue's not got as many consumable products in it as we have in the UK. And we know that will change. More stuff will come over here. The catalogue we have is an introductory catalogue. We've now got some, so I've seen the catalogue. And I have to admit, I'm really, really impressed. I mean, you don't know when you see the digital one what it's going to be like. But, you know, when we thought it's only got 500 and odd products in, is it going to just look like a bit of a specialog? Is it going to impress the Spanish market? Is it going to impress other nationalities that are here? And I can tell you the answer is absolutely yes. It's slightly taller than the UK catalogue, so it is really impactful. It's good colouring, the covers are good quality, and there's enough content in there to make it a meaty catalogue. So although we've not got the consumables, people are still going to want more stuff than they can afford because, again, people are going to buy on impulse. So a 4-week cycle is ideal, and that's what we're sticking with here. And quite simply, we're just telling people to Google their street name. So that's something that's very different in Spain. In the UK, if you give somebody your postcode with a number, they can see your street. Postcodes in Spain aren't street orientated, they are regions. So a postcode only means the kind of area where somebody would live. You need them to type in their street name. So there's something you need to know straight away. Tell people to Google their street name. Then they'll see that the map come out of where they are, and they can plan out their 4-week cycle accordingly. Round books or whatever system that you use to record what you're doing when you're doing your catalogs is pretty much exactly the same. I'm going to be talking a little bit about presenting in a second, but the only slips that we're using here is simply the day slip that goes in the catalogue. A sorry I missed you when you collect your catalogue, a thank you for order, and a sorry I missed you when you're doing your order. You know, there's a lot of things that we do in the UK, and that is relevant. You know, we've got a number of different catalogues there, but here we're just keeping everything really, really simple. And as always, it's about service, more so here, I think, than anywhere else. And especially if you go into expat communities, you know, a lot of people don't speak Spanish. They do struggle in shops. So, you know, if people are just nice and offer good service, there's going to be no shortage of customers. Now, I'm going to talk to you about presenting catalogues. I did a bit on stage at the ICC a few years ago. That video is still available. I think you can see it at tapandtell.co.uk or on the Clean Easy YouTube channel. But it's very, very simple and very easy to do. And the thing is, with Spain, you have to present. This is why the kit only has 50 catalogues in, because you don't really need more, and you know, it makes sense that we keep the starting fee as low as possible, so more people are going to join, and people can buy more catalogues if they want to, but really it's all about presenting here. And the reason for that is because it's illegal to go onto people's land without permission. So a lot of the housing estates, all their kind of doorbells are actually outside on the wall with a little intercom system. So you can't actually knock on people's doors. Very few houses go out onto the street. So you kind of ring the intercom, people will come out, and then you can present your catalogues. So that's why presenting is really the way forwards. And it's all about delivering, not asking. We used to live on a Gulf urbanisation. We didn't get anybody doing door-to-door here because it was all security. We now live in the town, and it's quite different. You know, we get salespeople at the door wanting to get us to change gas and electric supply, just the same as the UK. You get lots of solar panel salespeople coming around. So people are used to people selling door to door. But just like in the UK, when somebody answers the door and sees somebody there with something that they don't know, they kind of, you know, they put the barriers up. It's like, oh, I don't want to be sold to. I've been inconvenienced. Then they're kind of wanting to say no straight away. So it's really important that, you know, you hand that catalogue over, follow the recommended script, which is that I'm just leaving the catalogue. That's all I'm doing. You're not there in order to sell something. And by handing them out, people will take them off you. People in expat communities know Clean Easy, which is useful. And people in Spanish communities are curious, especially if they know it's English. If you know somebody Spanish, you can get this presented. I can only do all this in English tonight. I can't do Spanish as well. Also, it'll take twice as long. And people's Spanish are at different levels. But at some point, I'll get that translated word for word and maybe get it out there for people to use. But presenting really, really is the key, and exactly the same as we do in the UK. If you try and sell at the door, you turn people off. You've just got to hand the catalogue and kind of basically do a runner. So I'm going to share with you the immediate income examples that we're showing people over here based on a 48-hour turnaround. Put your 50 out Friday, collect them back Sunday, as usual, get them straight back out again. They're not making money in your house. So that means you can do 150 catalogues a week. So 1 in 10 ordering, average order of €20, total orders €300, 1,200 over 4 weeks, 250 profit, 75 for hitting first level bonus. That's €325 immediate income. Now you can use this when you're presenting the business to people in Spain. The cost of living in Spain is significantly lower. So as well as it being much sunnier, that's 2 blooming good reasons why we live here. But what you often understand, the cost of living is lower, but wages are lower too. €325 in Spain is like a week's wages for the majority of the population. So our business has a real opportunity here to change people's lives, even at this level, you know, and you know as well as I do, once you've found those customers, that's not a lot of catalogues per week to give out. Now, welcome rewards are the same. I'm going to touch on those at the end. So people straight away can get an extra 50 catalogues because you're presenting, the losses are very, very low. So that second set that comes on welcome rewards can be put out on the alternative day. So that just doubles everything. But as you well know, the volume bonus more than doubles. And just by doing 50 a day, you're talking 695 euros. Now, there's no reason why people can't do 100 a day, 100 presented. I mean, it's not even a day's work, really. 100 presented, 100 collected in, and all the other bits and bobs that you do. You're talking over 1,400 euros, which is above the average take-home pay for somebody working full-time here. I know people that work really hard in factories, in restaurants, and they don't take home much more than 1,000 euros every month. So managing your account, this is something that's really key. All Clean Easy distributors in Spain are given a 250 euro limit. It's important to remind them that that's the credit limit, which enables them to order 310 euros worth of orders. The minimum order here is 180 euros, which if people get stuck in, it will easily be achieved, Now, we're recommending people order on a Sunday night. The thing is with Spain, you've obviously got a lot longer delivery, and we're kind of recommending that on the premise that orders will get processed Monday, and there's a good chance that they'll get that delivery on a Friday. Just the same as the UK, if people are being consistent and they're ordering regularly, they'll get to know the drivers, and their deliveries will come quicker. Things can be a bit slower here anyway, but consistency is the key, and we're trying to get people into that routine. Really important, again, same as in the UK really, it's important that they pay their account quickly, but more so here, because it's all about trust. And people need to pay those bills. I think people, once they're all up and running and registered, if they know anything about banking, and this is something, interesting that you might want to know, bad debt in Spain doesn't get tolerated. By law, if you have somebody that's employed by you and they owe somebody money, you have to pay the debtor before you can pay somebody their wages. And people can actually access money out of your bank account if you owe them money. So it's a very, very different ball game. So you need to get people to pay their account quickly, make sure they stand in good stead with the company, and then they're going to be able to get those limits increased just the same as the UK. When they show that they're trustworthy and they're putting in regular orders, they can get their limits upped so they can earn whatever they want. And it's the same as the UK. Sales aids go towards minimum orders, but there's no profit in them either. So Facebook marketing, want to talk about Facebook, very different to the UK. The message we're sending to the guys here is sell local, recruit global. In terms of selling products on Facebook, the guys here are setting up their shops in exactly the same way, but they're only doing local deliveries. There's no drop ship facility in Spain, so they're only doing it on local groups. But what they're aiming to do is to get traffic into their group. There's not the same amount of groups in Spain than there are in the UK. The expat community is very, very small, and there's already been people that are throwing products on there, and there's really no need for it. There's already people hitting them quite hard, and I know some of the local groups have started just banning Clean Easy posts. And what you don't want to happen is that people complain over here, and that affects your Facebook group or your Facebook account with suspensions back in the UK. So, don't post products over here. It's completely pointless. People over here, we're not even recommending they post too many products. What we're recommending they do is drive traffic to their shops. And I think that's pretty much what, the likes of Zoe's doing. They're selling enough through their own shops. They don't need to put stuff elsewhere. Recruitment's obviously different because you can do that anywhere. You don't have to ship anything for recruitment. So you can recruit anywhere. But Craig's going to talk to you about sponsoring. I won't go into any more about that. So Facebook, same as the UK, it just utilises that dead time. The day is a little bit longer here in Spain, but people still wouldn't appreciate people going around with catalogues too late at night. So Facebook allows people to use that dead time in the early hours. And we're just getting people to set up the shop as exactly the same as the UK, follow the system for creating that shop, selling locally. And again, with social media, it's about consistency. If you dabble with it, you don't have the same reach as somebody who's doing it bits and bobs daily. So getting people to market their own group and then recruiting externally in other groups. And then service those customers. Once you've got them, you need to service them in exactly the same way as you would service Facebook customers back in the UK. So understanding the nature of retailing, kind of, inoculating people about what they're going to find. Again, this stuff's pretty similar to the UK, but there's one or two bits that are different. Empty houses. You get a lot more empty houses over here in Spain, especially in coastal resorts, especially in some of the kind of smaller villages and in the countryside, because a lot of people have second homes. And that just isn't holiday homes that people live abroad. A lot of Spanish people have holiday homes as well. Something we found quite remarkable when we lived here. There's a city that I would say is 10 minutes max from the beach. And loads of people in this city would have holiday homes, believe it or not, on the beach. They're like 10 minutes away. And that's really, really common here. So you need to kind of forewarn your people that they'll come across a lot of empty houses. It is normal. There's plenty of business to be taken in between. You still get miserable gits in Spain, just the same as you get them in the UK. What you get more of is nosy neighbours. And we've been out tonight and they come out, they tell you, who lives where and what they're doing and whether they'll want catalogues or not. And you've kind of really just got to ignore the nosy neighbours. But prepare people for it, because in some areas where there is a lot of holiday homes, these guys look out for one another. Unfortunately, house theft is a problem in Spain. Crime generally is very, very low, but house theft is one of the things that that there is an issue with. So people do look out for one another. So they may well come out and ask you what you're doing, which is key. The weather, I love this one. People in the UK will moan it's too cold and wet, and people here will moan it's too hot. There's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing. So in the UK, where you put a mac on, here you've got to stick a cap on and get some sun cream on, or just get up early in the morning and get out late at night in the summer so you avoid the sun. People are going to come across other catalogues. Warn people of this. It's very new in Spain, but you know what? It's the same as anywhere. People are going to hit the same areas, especially as far as expat communities are concerned. We're still going to get out of stocks. And more so potentially damaged products. So again, we're forewarning people of this. The stuff's coming from Parcel Force. It's not going direct to the distributor. It's going through another courier. And sometimes Parcel Force deliver our boxes a little bit crumpled, to be polite. So imagine if it's gone to another courier as well before it gets to us. So we're just forewarning people of that. Therefore, they may get returns. And one thing, we mentioned in the UK, just watch out for barking dogs in letterboxes. This is a real another reason why you don't want to be going through people's gates, because a lot of people have dogs in Spain and their sole purpose is to protect the house, and they will bite. So, do forewarn your people about that. So the welcome rewards are operating exactly the same in Spain as they are in the UK. Obviously, it's all in euros, so it's 180 euros in 30 days for the first 50 catalogues. If they do 720 euros, they get 100, and then the 60-day one is 1,440 euros. So to be fair, when people are starting here, we're just pushing them to get at least 180 on as quickly as they can. That'll give them another 50 catalogues. So if they start with English catalogues, they can then get a Spanish or vice versa. And I'm reliably told when they place their order, they can choose the other language if they want to. And then collect more as they go along. And really, with the welcome rewards, people should have enough catalogues to get whatever it is they're after earning-wise. So just a couple more key points with operating over in Spain that you might want to be aware of before I hand over to Craig. Deliveries. I've already said it. Don't forget, deliveries are going to take longer. A lot of people live in the sticks here. A lot of people live in apartments. Some of the guys got their catalogues 5 days after registration. Some still haven't got them. Now, they will get tracking from Parcel Force, who give tracking to GLS, which is Global Logistics Services, and those tracking services are very, very good. So you need to get your people to track their parcels, because if there's any discrepancy with delivery addresses or they're not quite sure, you need to jump on that as quick as you can to make sure deliveries are no longer delayed than necessary. Banking over here is quite different. I think I've kind of touched on that. in terms of what people bank accounts are like. So again, just be aware of that, because people might be a little bit dubious when you talk about banking with them. Something that is key as well, in Spain, they have a national identity card system. So anybody Spanish will have ID. So we are speaking to Clean Easy, asking them what we should be taking around with them. But people need to keep ID. I'm flicking ahead here because there's 3 sorts of numbers that you'll be made aware of. DNI is the national identity card, and NIE is what you're issued as a foreigner. So everybody has to have a number. So if you're not Spanish, you don't get a DNI, you get an NIE. And the NIF is your tax reference. So the company, I believe, are going to ask for one of these numbers to ID you when somebody's registered. So like in the UK, you can get your registration up and running straight away. When you go to place your first order, they prompt for bank account details, so the money can be paid into the account. They're also going to prompt for one of these numbers, so you guys need to be aware that they'll use them. If it's somebody Spanish, it's absolutely normal. You have to put your DNI on everything, and everything's identified by your DNI. But expats and other communities won't know as much, so you need to make sure they're aware of that. They need to keep ID with them all the time when they're going door to door. And then that one up from the bottom, Autonomo. This is something that so far the company haven't given us any detail on this, and to be fair, they don't tell us anything about tax in the UK, because as an independent distributor, it's our responsibility to pay whatever we're due to pay, whoever we're due to pay it. But I just think it's important to mention this to you guys, because things here work quite differently, and you just need to be a little bit forearmed when people throw this at you. Because in Spain, when you're self-employed, you pay a fixed amount per month to the government before you even earn anything or turn over anything. So it is not like the UK. In the UK, we pay our tax when we do our tax return at the end of the year. In Spain, you pay a fixed amount up front. Now, the fixed amount is around 260 euros a month. Now, we're getting lots of different stories. We're going to try and find out as much as we can, and we'll share what we can when we have it. We are led to believe that there is a discount for direct selling. We are led to believe there's a discount for when people start their businesses new. Now, this can be off-putting, but it also can be a major advantage, because somebody who's moved to Spain from the UK won't be eligible for the same level of healthcare. Now, we all get these E111 cards. Don't think Brexit is having any effect on that at all anyway. It's a separate system, but the E111 will only allow you to go into an emergency room at a hospital. You can't go to the local doctors. You can't get the same benefits as somebody who lives here. But if you're paying Autonomo, you get all those benefits. You get a pension. You get all sorts of stuff. So it can be a big selling point. We're also led to believe that if you've got a job, then you can't be Autonomo as well. That doesn't mean you can't do it, but it means you don't have to pay this fixed amount. So it's all kind of very sketchy, and I wish I could give you more definite stuff on it. We've actually got Spanish people registered, and we're going to get them to find out, and we'll share what we can when we have it. But you just need to be aware of this. So when people throw "what about Autonomo" to you, you know the answer. Basically, what we're saying to people is, you know, it's your responsibility, just like we'd say that in the UK. If somebody joins you and they're already Autonomo, they don't need to do it again. It's one level of self-employment, and they can just run everything through that. So that's my bit done. Thank you very, very much for listening. I'm going to hand you over to Craig now, who's been pacing up and down like he normally does when I'm training, making me think I've gone on far too long. So I'm just going to grab my wine and swap chairs. Thank you very much.
Good evening, guys. Hope you are well. I envisage that you can hear me nice and clearly, and you know, it's really exciting times. And for those of you that don't know me, I've been in the business now, I guess, for 15 and a half years. Like most people, I stumbled into Clean Easy for a reason, and fell in love with the freedom, the income, the opportunity, and it's literally changed my life. I mean, I purchased my first villa here in Spain some 10, 11 years ago, and sold that, and really kind of always had a passion to put my kids into Spanish school, and been really working hard on that over the last 18 months, getting things in place. And I think, you know, we live in a world without borders. And one of the things I've noticed, probably more so over the last sort of 7 to 8 years running my business with Clean Easy, providing I've got a laptop and a mobile phone, I can run my business from anywhere in the world, and have done consistently over the years. And do you know what? I've built a fantastic business. I've got an amazing team of individuals back in the UK, and I made a decision about 18 months ago to come out to Spain and move into my new villa that I purchased, and put my little girls into Spanish school. They already speak 2 languages. They speak fluent English, fluent Polish, and my eldest of my 2 little girls, Isabella, her Spanish is quite mind-blowing. Now, I know Alana's learning as well, but Isabella's a little bit more confident in conversing, and it's quite amazing how you can throw a child into the deep end and they can just swim and learn the language, so to speak. So, I was coming over to Spain and passionate about, having my kids full time. I have them by myself out here, so it's very challenging, but, very enjoyable to kind of run my business. And my plan was always to, drop them off at school, work my business back in the UK and recruit and support people just like I do anyway. And you can do that from anywhere in the world. And many of you may understand this. You may have been on holiday and recruited just as many people while you're on holiday as what you would when you're actually back at home, wherever that may be. And, the plan was to do that and then have the lifestyle that Spain offers. Pick them up from school, enjoy that quality time with them in the outdoor environment, the beach, the pool, whatever it may be. And then once they were in bed, kind of hit my business again and work with that coaching aspect of some of my amazing team back in the UK. And then the company launched Spain, and do you know what? I couldn't have been more excited, and I had hope, and I had a passion. And after they had made the announcement at the earlier showcase in the year that we were going to develop into countries, and they were making a commitment to this year, you kind of have hope, and you're thinking, will it be Spain? Will it not be Spain? Will it be Mexico? Will it be Germany? Will it be Holland? Where would it be? And for them to launch into the Spanish market, I was exceptionally excited. But what it's done is it's actually changed the dimensions of my move into Spain. But for the better and for great. I'm passionate about this Clean Easy business. When we go on the Madrid conference, that'll be my 28th, I believe, all expenses paid trip with Clean Easy. And it's been an amazing journey from getting started, having little knowledge to developing a business that has turned over. In fact, I've got absolutely no idea. My highest turnover was 3.8 million in a year. I believe my income from Clean Easy has topped 1.3 million since I've been in the business, which is pretty exceptional. It's something around about that mark. So this business works, and that's in the UK. And what I love and what I've noticed is in the UK and Republic of Ireland, our business is growing quicker, stronger, and better than ever before. And we are ready to expand internationally. And as you will be aware, we are at the beginning of a 4-year plan to expand into 10 countries worldwide. And that excites me because my network marketing dream, my network marketing passion has always been a philosophy of Clean Easy having worldwide domination. But one of the things I will inform you now, and almost, being involved in building my business here in Spain and building my business from Spain back into the UK, and almost kind of taking a step out and looking into the business. These 3 things is essential to the growth of your business, wherever you are, wherever you decide to build your business, and whatever passions you have. Excitement, energy, and expectation is what will fuel your business and your income. And you see it in the UK. You see the likes of, Jackie and Steve McCormack, Chris and Claire Kinsella, oh God, my brain's gone. So, so many people to mention, that are growing their businesses because they're excited, they're passionate, they've got an energy, and they expect nothing from the best. So I can only kind of impress upon you, regardless of where you are, it's that sparkle in your eye, it's that excitement about your future, it's that excitement about making a difference to other people, it's your excitement about giving value without need of compensation. You know, I do this business because I absolutely love it with a passion. I've got a fantastic lady that I've started working with recently in Spain, and she's really excited, and I'm passionate about her business growth. And actually, I'm going to tell you a little bit about her in a minute, because she's actually 5th generation down from me, and it wasn't myself that sponsored her, but I'm excited about her doing well for her rather than for me. And one of the things I want to impress upon you is this, and you'll be aware of this, you're network marketers, you're on this webinar for a reason, but one of the ethos is, you know, we're having a lot of fun, and it's the ethos we have in the UK, but it's also the ethos that we're looking to impress upon a new business here in Spain, and it is this: focus on helping other people make money first, and you will make money second. And that's really what this business is all about. And if you've got an energy, and what I mean by that is a passion to put the hours in, you've got to burn the midnight oil. You've got to be focused on your trade. So be excited about the business wherever you grow. Work local, think global. This is a passion that I've always had. Work local, think global, and have high expectations. So who joins our business? Well, do you know what? My experience in the UK and my experience here in Spain is people just like you and me join this business. Everybody's hungry. And I think this, just like the UK and Ireland, this market here in Spain is hungry. It's hungry for top quality products at unbeatable prices with that home shopping service. And what Jaime's gone through is really what's enabling people here in Spain to follow a proven system and get great results. And I've got a lady in particular. She's got an order to go on Monday of 1,133 euros through following exactly what Jaime's just gone through with you. Keeping it simple, retail, sponsoring and coaching. You know, it's such a simple business. So who joins our business? Absolutely everybody. And in the UK, Ireland and here in Spain, which is what we're on about this evening, there's a hunger for a home shopping service, but there's also a hunger for an opportunity. And I kind of believe that Spain's about, rightly or wrongly to say this, probably 10 years behind almost. And we're at the point where this business can grow. And I believe the growth that we can have in the 3 countries now that we operate in will create the foundations for international growth. And that's really what you've got to look at. So I believe you've got to do it right. And what's interesting is the way we build this business is no different to how we build it in the UK. So look, we focus on warm market. We focus on referrals. You know, who do you know? Do you know what? I've had some little business cards created, and I've put some business cards out. I've put some flyers out, and actually, not really a lot, but it's this old school stuff that works really, really well. I had 11 inquiries from 800 business cards and about a dozen posters. You know, putting shop ads up, and you know, I've got some guys in my team here. They've gone out there and they market in their business with a car sign, just like we would in the UK. And one of the big things here is frilly posters. Now, I don't know if you know what they are. It's like a poster where it's got kind of like tassels coming off the bottom, which has people's website or contact number on there. And people advertise all sorts of things from cleaning to learning a language to dancing lessons to all sorts. And we're finding that actually our distributors are doing a what we call a frilly poster, sticking it in shops, and people rip off the tassel with the contact details. Bizarrely, it's absolutely massive in Spain. So the old school activities are working really well. So as you look to recruit from the UK into Spain, which I'm going to tell you how, you know, I want to share some magic with you, because actually it's blown my mind. And I believe if you're focused, you can build a massive business. Yeah, I'm sure there's free online ads. You know, one of my distributors here has found some free online advertising, just like we have in the UK. Business cards is working really well. Customers, are, as always, love the products, can surely love the opportunity to get discounted products and also, you know, make money. Free foot rule works really well, and obviously clearly Facebook. Now, Jaime's mentioned Facebook, and I can't remember if I'm going to touch on this, but actually there's 2.5 million expats from the UK that live in Spain. There's actually more Europeans outside of the English expats that live in Spain, which is a much bigger market. But the expat community from Europeans living in Spain, although it's very large on the costas and typically on the beach resorts, Costa Dorada, Costa Blanca, Costa del Sol, is actually relatively small. And Jaime touched on this recently, and he touched on Facebook. Actually, there's not that many groups in the expat communities. And if someone's on, because it's more of a, I guess the groups in the UK are more of, they're a buy and sell group. The groups here in Spain are more of a community group, and people are very protective and also very skeptical. One of the things I'll tell you what will happen with Facebook, when you get into the Spanish culture, when you find somebody Spanish, their opportunity on Facebook in Spanish Facebook groups will be the same that we have in the UK, if not potentially bigger. I think the opportunity we have in the expat community, we've got to play it extremely clever. You've got to play it from a point of view of, Jamie mentioned, look, don't be advertising products. You can't sell from the UK or Ireland into Spain anyway. And we're looking to teach our guys to build their group, which is what's most successful, and also recruit in that group. So I'm going to go through exactly how you can develop a business. And this to me is key. 95% of our team here in Spain is warm market. Now, isn't that fascinating? And when I go back to when Clean Easy exploded, back in the early 90s with its first real growth wave, kind of a growth wave that we are going to overshadow right now in the UK and also here in Spain. The growth we're having will knock socks off of that, I'm telling you. But where was the growth? It was excited people with an energy and an expectation telling absolutely everybody they know about the business. And that's what we're doing here. So 95% of our team here in Spain is warm market. So I've brought all of these points up. I don't really know why, but I want to share with you some of my experiences because I believe they can help you build a really, really big business in the UK and Spain. So I put a post on my own profile some time ago, really something along the lines of really excited, expanded into Spain, and actually had some interest. But I had a lady that I knew relatively well, ish, and I knew she lived in Spain. So what I'm advising you is to put maybe a post, go back to that top one, put a post on your own profile. Really, and this is, you could use this terminology a little bit. Really excited, we're expanding our multi-million pound, 93-year-old British PLC into the Spanish market. Do you know any entrepreneurial people that are looking for a part or full-time opportunity in Spain? Just stick it on your own profile. You've got security there to put it there. People might share it, people might like, people might comment. But I did that myself or something similar, and I had, some interaction. But nothing really come of it. However, I know people have got great results from that, and I'll share that with you in a minute. I then asked a friend of mine who used to live in Spain, now back in Essex in the UK, and I was trying to recruit them into the business, and I was saying, look, this is a great opportunity. You lived in Spain for many years. You know people throughout all areas of Spain because she had lived in pretty much most of the areas from the Costa del Sol right the way up to the Costa Dorada in sort of the Barcelona region. And she said, look, she's really happy. Her mum wasn't well. She was, quite happy doing what she was doing and having that quality time with her mum. So I just said, would you mind, Debbie, her name was Debbie, would you mind putting a post on your Facebook page for me if I gave you the terminology? And she said yes. And this is what she put. So why don't you ask people you know? Have you heard of 6 degrees of separation? The 6 people you know and the 6 people they know and so on can connect with absolutely everyone in the world. So this is where social media can be your strength, not necessarily marketing the business on groups. Jamie's already touched on how marketing the business on Facebook groups in the expat community is relatively risky because it's a very small market. And, I've been trying to train my team not to do it. I did it a little bit myself out of excitement and then realized it wasn't the thing to do. And then speaking to a guy, actually, he's got the biggest expat contact list in Spain. And his advice was, look, the way Clean Easy are working is really exciting. The way you're training people to build their own groups is really exciting because every network marketing company that launches into Spain hammers the expat communities. They get a bad reputation and it really isn't the way you want to go. And I see that Clean Easy is different. So anyway, this is why I'm advising you this way. So I asked this lady, Debbie, to put a post on her page, and it was simply this. A really good friend of mine is expanding a 93-year-old multi-million pound home shopping company into Spain. Do you know anyone that would be, would you be interested in working, looking for hardworking, honest and passionate people to work part-time or full-time. Something very much like that. A really good friend of mine is expanding a multi-million-pound, 93-year-old home shopping company into Spain. They're looking for honest, hardworking and ambitious individuals to work part-time or full-time. Let me know if you're interested. I had 3 people that have joined the business. This is when I was back in the UK. I hadn't even driven over to Spain at this point. I was back in the UK. I had 3 people that were interested in taking a look at the business. Sorry, 4 people that were interested in taking a look at the business. I contacted them and 3 people have since joined and registered in the business in the last week to 10 days. How cool is that? Just from a friend's post and a little bit of networking and going along the philosophy of you never ask, you never get. So that happened. One of my team members did exactly the same. In fact, actually, so there's 1, 2, 3rd generation, this guy did exactly the same on his own personal page. And actually a friend of his based in the Campo, the countryside in Spain, has actually joined the business. And this guy is absolutely phenomenal. So just pure warm market. Another guy in the team, and I've got a fabulous lady in the business called Debbie Huey, and she's actually done a bit of networking, and 2 guys in her team have ended up, frontline to her, have ended up with 2 amazing people in their Spain through warm market. This guy, Les, put a fabulous post on his own social profile and just excited about expanding into Spain. And his one of his customers tagged their daughter. Their daughter's lived in Spain for 17 years. She's from Cheltenham, an amazing woman, speaks fluent Spanish, got 2 children. She lives in a completely Spanish area. There's really hardly any English there. Her Spanish is perfect, and she's passionate about building a business that can change her life. And that's just all from warm market. The warm market that I've managed to recruit is because I live in Spain. I've been coming here now persistently and consistently for 12 years, more regularly over the last 18 months as I've built my business and looked to have a little bit more lifestyle. I've probably spent a week every 4 here almost. For a period of time, it was a little bit more than that. So you develop friends and you get the opportunity to speak to people. But also I'm very conscious, just in the UK, go where you go, do what you do, just leave a paper trail with you. I had a cup of coffee today. The lady got a business card. I went to a shop called it's Leroy Merlin's. It's the equivalent to a B&Q back in the UK. I've put some business cards out, and I've ended up with this entrepreneur that actually I put the business cards out about a 20-minute drive away when I was buying something on about a dozen cars, and I've had an entrepreneur that lives 2 miles away, runs free business from Spain that's looking at the business. So go where you go, do what you do, develop relationships. The quality of our life is dependent upon the quality of our relationships. Now, here's the thing. So that's the sort of stuff you can do from the UK, your own profile. Ask friends to put something on their page. Get your team to do something. 6 degrees of separation, okay? And then just speak to your warm market. Who do you know in Spain? Do you know what? It's really, really interesting. And I'm going to advise you to do this. Why not English speaking Spanish? Why have I put that? My brain's gone. Do you know what? It's the Rioja. Joe, this sort of time of night, you start drinking red wine and it's just, I love Spain. Absolutely love it. No, I'll tell you what this is. English speaking Spanish. Did you know there is 3.5 million Spanish that live in the United Kingdom in comparison to 2.5 million English, Irish, that live in Scottish, Welsh, that live in Spain? I've recruited 2 people back in the UK that are from Madrid and Valencia. How did I do that? Well, I just thought out of the box a little bit, and I typed in the Facebook bar, typed in Spanish. And guess what? It brought up a Spanish group in Birmingham with 7.5 Spanish people on. Then I was looking around for other Spanish groups, and then I thought to myself, hang on a moment, Spanish people that are connected, that are in the UK, would want to connect with other Spanish people. Surely they would speak in Españoles, in Spanish. So I then typed in Españoles en Londres, which is Spanish in London. And the volume of people that come up, the volume of groups, one group had 45,500 people in. So work local. right? Well, how about, this is just an idea for you. Type into, this is how you want to recruit from where you are into Spain, because what you want is Spanish people. Hammering the business into the Spanish market on Facebook is not the way for you to build the business into Spain. What the way for you to do is to find English-speaking Spanish people in the United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland. So I challenge you to go onto Facebook, type in Españoles on, EN, and then put a city, put your local town, put your local city. And I tell you what, there is more Spanish that live in the United Kingdom than the English live in Spain. Now, the biggest growth that we will have in Spain is with the Spanish market, with the Spanish culture, with people that speak Spanish, with some people that do not speak a word of English, okay? Now, if you recruit somebody in a Facebook group in the UK, I can tell you now they speak English. So this Rowena and this guy, Jorge, they both speak fluent English. They're both based in London. One's from Madrid, one's from Valencia. Guess what? They're building their retail business in the UK, and we're sponsoring from the UK into Spain to their Spanish warm market, which will then open up into the Spanish culture. So you've got to think out the box, okay? I've got so think out the box. Just think, I don't know, Españoles on Dublin, okay? And look at that. There'll be more groups that you can access. If you start trying to advertise on Spanish groups in Spain, you're going to come up short because they will speak Spanish and a lot of them probably won't speak English. So you're going to come up with a brick wall, a little bit of a challenge. However, if you recruit Spanish people that live in the UK, most of them are going to be fluent in English, so you can communicate, coach and support them in English in your own country, keeping the cost down of absolutely everything to build your business local. Think global. Do you know what? If we recruit, if we launch into Mexico or if we launch into Canada, what's the first thing to do? Find people in the UK that can expand their business back into their home country. Spanish speaking advert. I ran an advert. Some of you may or may not know, years ago we expanded into Holland and into Germany, and you know, I'm sure at some point, I hope at some point we will expand back into them countries, but you know, we really need to, I guess, wait and see. Maybe they'll be in the 10 countries, who knows? But look, I ran an advert, and the advert was German speakers required. Guess what? My phone rang off the hook, because there was a lot of German individuals that live in the UK that were looking for work opportunities. German speakers required. Spoke to a lot of people. Recruited a fantastic couple called Christina and Rob Kahn. Christina is from France. Christina is from Germany. Guess what? They built a gold business in the UK. They responded to an advert that said simply German speakers required. That was it. So how about running Spanish speakers required, a Spanish speaking advert? You will find people that speak fluent Spanish. I've got a couple that have joined my business from this Rowena. She sponsored somebody into the business, and they are translators. The lady's from Madrid, and the guy is from Cambridge in the UK. They both speak fluent English and fluent Spanish, okay? So look, you really need to think out the box. It's not about coming over, and I think too many people are putting adverts on Facebook groups. And here's the thing. If you're advertising on Facebook, and I think you should, but I think you need to be careful. But if you're using an automated system, your automated system, and I see it all the time, where people are advertising, earn £50 to £500 on a group in Spain. Look, if you're using an automated system, take your Spanish groups off it, because you are not creating a good image for the growth of our company and our worldwide domination as a network of distributors. We're doing this, and we're doing it right. I want this business to explode. I want massive success throughout the company, because I want to be paid a residual income for the rest of my life that my kids can benefit from. And that means a respect and a refined appreciation for all of us, because when we get that, we have a refined appreciation that all of us can succeed, and that in turn allows absolutely every one of us to grow a massive business. So look, Facebook will work massively in Spain, just as it does in the UK, but in the Spanish community. The expat community, it's very skeptical. So interestingly, the expats are skeptical of the expats because there's a reputation that they've ripped each other off in the past. So what you need to do is just be really careful. Look at marketing your business in the UK. Think out of the box. Look at finding Spanish. Remember, there's more Spanish in the UK than there is English, Irish, and people from Great Britain and Ireland in the Spanish culture. So think out of the box. This is just my experiences, and we, do you know what, are recruiting people for fun because of warm market. So if you can establish people and then set an expectation that this business is exploding, it set an expectation of 6 degrees of separation. It is warm market that will massively build your business in another country. The idea is to find a Spanish leader, to find somebody who's fluent in this language. And if you can learn to build your business locally with a global anticipation and expectation, do you know what? You can build your business anywhere in the world. Do you know what? Let's say we go into Romania. Do you know what? The first thing that I will do is join Romanian groups in the UK. And all I will do is I'll take my English advert and I will go into Google Translate. I'll translate it into Romanian like I would into Spanish. And this is what I did on about 3 or 4 Spanish groups. I got an image and I translated it into Spanish and I posted the advert in Spanish onto this Spanish group. Now I speak a very little Spanish, enough to be polite, not enough to have a conversation, okay? So when I've then rang people, I speak enough to converse very briefly, and then I say, habla inglés, okay? And they say yes, in a perfect language, okay? And then you then can converse with them, okay? Most people speak English, but you know what? If you want to connect with Spanish, join the Spanish groups in the United Kingdom, Republic of Ireland, and recruit people locally, train them in your native tongue, and get them recruiting their warm market back into Spain, because this is where potentially you can get massive growth. And this is what's happening with me. You know, actually, when I look at my business now, because I've actually got all my circles on the wall of here in Spain, because so much is happening, it's all warm market. It is all warm market, and then warm market of warm market, and then, you know, a few business cards here and there. Business cards and posters is what will grow the business massively. You know, a few people have done some Facebook stuff. They're getting their little results, but where the real Facebook growth will be, and I've got some evidence for you. Everyone here that's been doing stuff on Facebook and doing some recruitment ads in the English-speaking Facebooks, yeah, getting a little bit of results. I've got a lady, she's Spanish, she's got 11 people that are joining her team. 11 people, because she's Spanish and she is working in the Spanish Facebook community, talking in her native language. This lady, Rachel from Cheltenham, she too has got a lot of Spanish guys that are looking to join the business, but she is working in that Spanish language because she can. That's something I can't do, and probably you can't do. But you know what? They have been found from the UK, and now they're building their businesses in Spain. I thought I'd share with you my script for bringing prospective distributors here in Spain. I didn't know if it would be beneficial, but this is how I lead into a conversation. It creates excitement, it creates a little bit of energy, and if people have got people that they want me to talk to, their warm market, or you know, their business cards that they might have put out, this is really what I would do. And I'm running the business exactly the same here as we would in the UK, by supporting people and doing freeway calls, and we will do this. But remember, if we get this right, if we have an ethos and to protect our company image and grow this business massively in every country that we operate in, we will then be able to expand in further countries and create massive, massive growth. So it is simply this. Hi, Debbie. Hi, is there Debbie there, please? Hi, Debbie. It's Craig White from the Vista Group International. You recently responded to our recruitment advertising regarding the part and full-time opportunities we have available. Is it, I don't know why it says not, is it part or full-time you're after? And then we have a brief chat, just like you would in the UK. Great, are you okay to speak briefly? So what is it you're doing right now? And then a little bit of discovery, finding out a little bit about them. You know, how long have you lived here? Have you got any family? What do you do? What's your passions? What are you interested in? How ambitious are you? And then I would just go, look, Debbie, we have an absolutely fantastic opportunity for the right person. We're a 93-year-old, £50 million British home shopping company expanding into Spain and looking for honest, hard-working individuals that have self-motivation and an entrepreneurial spirit to work with us, either part or full-time. How does that sound for you? Everybody says great, and then you go into sharing the business with them. It is as simple as that. How you start is how you finish, okay? So look, I really do hope this has helped. I don't know much more. Jamie's gone through the logistics of I guess, building a retail business, following a system, some of the regulations, and kind of giving you an idea of the laws and the expectations here in Spain. I believe we can build a massive, massive, massive business. You know, I tried some newspaper, recruitment, advertising, absolute waste of time. Warm market, I can tell you now, with energy, excitement, and expectation is what will build your business. And if you can develop that, Facebook will be big in the Spanish culture, but you have to be careful in the expat culture because it's all about reputation. And the biggest thing we want is to be different and a cut above the rest as a company, because it will hold us in good stead as we go worldwide to achieve worldwide domination. So look, you know, I guess from Jamie and myself, I don't know if he's asleep. I guess from Jamie and myself, look, we're passionate. We're actually looking at running an event here very soon to open up to the whole of the network with regards to, it's like an opportunity event. We need to get some logistics in place. We haven't done one yet, but it's going to be really exciting. If we can get an event in place to enable you to invite your prospects to, with the security that they can come meet some people that are passionate about a company, passionate about the overall of us, they can come check the business out and have the security to join your team and move forwards with the same energy and excitement that we have about the clean energy opportunity here in Spain. So I really do hope that helps. And gives you an insight in how you can build your business, gives you some ideas of how you can build your business here into the Spanish market, and also some of the infrastructure. But look, bottom line, guys, retail sponsor coach. And I think, you know, quite honestly, you need to be really good at this business where you are in order to develop a business wherever you want. So look, onwards and upwards. I'll check out. I've got no idea what to do, Jamie. You signed on, so you can press the buttons. And I'm going out now. So good night and have a good evening.